go to the other side of the Capitol. We're going to have Congressman Tom Cole. He joins me now. Congressman Cole, let's start very quickly. What really changes between a Speaker McCarthy and a Speaker Boehner? Speaker McCarthy is right out of your wing of the party, the mainstream legislative conservative governing wing of the party.
Well, I think, first of all, Luke had it exactly right. Kevin does have an incredible set of personal skills and relationships that span the conference. Second, I think he gets a goodwill period, if you will, a sort of honeymoon. And that's something that's hard to get after 5 years, or almost 5 years, as was the case with the Speaker. And finally, I think folks, having brought down Boehner, are a little bit, they're like the dog that caught the car. And they've got it. They're not sure what to do with it. And causing a ruckus immediately after this means the problem wasn't John Boehner, it was you. So I think that's going to cool some people and hopefully bring them back into the fold. And I know Kevin will work very hard at pulling us together. He's exceptionally good at that.
You know, I always tell people, whenever I've had you on, you're one of these rare members of Congress who actually used to be a pollster in a previous life. So you do get a sense of, you understand sort of what's happening perhaps inside the Republican Party as a whole. Is it safe to say that the same forces that chased Boehner out are the same forces that are driving up the poll numbers of Carly Fiorina, Donald Trump, and Ben Carson?
I think it is. I think, look, people up here that share that point of view were, after all, elected. They weren't appointed, so they reflect certainly a section of the electorate, particularly the Republican primary electorate. Most of them are from pretty deeply red districts and states, so again, it's understandable. But yeah, it's a real movement out there, real anger, and I think a lot of that is misdirected. It's appropriately directed at the president, but there's a sense that, again, sometimes people ask us to do things that aren't possible to do absent the presidency or a supermajority in the Senate, and those are two things that we simply don't have right now.
Are you confident that in 3 months we're going to avoid a government shutdown?
I am. I think there's three things pushing us toward a broader deal. Transportation fund needs to be filled up. The debt ceiling is looming. And I think most Republicans would be very uncomfortable with the sequester, which would cut $40 billion out of the military budget. That happens if there's not a larger deal on January 1st. And to see something like that happening when we're living in an extraordinarily dangerous world, ISIL on the rise, Russia, relitigating the borders of Eastern Europe, the Chinese building islands in the South China Sea. I think this is not the time to stumble into a conflict that results in a smaller, less effective American military.
And very fast, are you for this idea that some have come up with, that Speaker Boehner ought to clear the decks, do the debt ceiling in October, take out all the garbage, essentially, the political garbage in October, and get it done now while Speaker Boehner is there before McCarthy has to go?
I am. I think you should do as much as you can, as quickly as you can. I know John Boehner well enough to know that that won't mean surrendering principles in any way. You just simply won't do that. But this is an opportunity. I hope the White House is smart enough to understand it's an opportunity as well, because we're about to slip in an election year where almost nothing will get done. Boehner can deliver. I think it's tougher on a new leadership team.
Wow. We thought October was going to be depressing. Who knows? Maybe things get done. Tom Cole, Republican from Oklahoma. Always a blunt talker. Thanks for coming on. Good to see you, sir. Still ahead, more of my one-on-one with Hillary Clinton, where she stands on the biggest domestic issues of the day. Plus, is Joe